It is the holiday season. Santa already here in Tuscaloosa. Fans of all ages ready to see a top 10 Alabama Crimson Tide squad looking for their 10th win of the year and taking on Kent State of the MAC Conference. Welcome everybody. He is the Professor Mark Wise. I am Mike Morgan. Apologies ahead of time. And Omori jumping center against number 42. That is Karan Hornbeek. We have gotten underway. Alabama in white. The golden flashes in gold. And right away, Alabama triggering a three. There is Nelson controlling the paint, getting a rebound. Sears, the leading scorer, back out to Nelson. He'll fire up a three ball. Looked like a knuckleball, and it left short. Kent State will be led by Von Cameron Davis. Davis, you see, number 1. He is their top scorer. Marquise Bennett, also a very dangerous guy, both offensively and on the defensive end. And the first turnover combination. And a team that knows how to win and made it to the MAC championship game again last year, wound up losing in the final. There's a steal by Sears, off and running. It's a track meet from here. Sears, Euro step and draws the foul. And that'll be the first trip to the free throw line.
27 times a game. It's part of the secrets. The most efficient scoring in our game today.
Short, Bama still cold from behind the arc, 0 for 6. Alabama as a team, 32%. Nate Oates telling us yesterday they definitely would want to see that number up a bit. There's a nice here in attendance near the Alabama bench, but he's going to be out the rest of the year. There is one of the best three-point shooters in the game when he's healthy. He's got the Achilles injury, suffered that during the Oregon game. Nice floater by Holloway, the former Auburn Tiger. But with Reitzel out, Mark, other guys have to step up for Alabama.
Well, I think one of the areas that they're concerned about is his voice. Now, not being a part of the program in practice or in games, because he has such great leadership skills. But I know Nate Oates is really, really high on that role for Chris Youngblood, who also has a big-time voice. On cue.
On cue, partner. There is Youngblood from down.
Because their second leading scorer, Morgan Safford, had surgery yesterday to correct a hip problem. And he's averaging almost 11 points a game.
Yeah.
So other guys, you know, I don't think any one player is going to make up for that.
Playing for Cleveland, along with Colin Sexton, the former Alabama star guard who was so good the one year he was in town.
Boy, Alabama is getting nothing easy.
That will be a hoop and harm for the sophomore transfer Holloway. So they have 3 McDonald's All-Americans on the roster, but the recruiting, it does. It really does.
And here's part of this relentless press on offense that I'm talking about. Isolation for the freshman.
Inside, and drawing another foul is Reed. Spot, that's for sure. From Buffalo, speaking of the MAC, that's where Nate Oates was coaching. In fact, he went up against Coach Ears and into the corner. So Philon, another freshman, but another offensive rebound for Alabama. They're dominating the glass early on, +7. Inside, and a nice finish at the rim by Sherrill.
Rebound set that whole second shot opportunity up. Kent State's going to have to make some shots.
They are ice cold, 2 of 18 from the field. Strong take, no. Nelson flying in for the finish. And a timeout called. Problem was they allowed 1.20. That kept the game close.
Well, Trayson Eaglestaff went for 40 against the Tide, made 8 three balls, and
teardrop dropped in by Holloway. I forgot to set. Tide only have 2 losses, Oregon and Purdue.
Kent State has made Bama play in the half court.
Nelson took a double shot. He took a 1-2 punch inside. A left and a right from 2 different players.
No, they don't need this deficit to get any worse.
Yeah, you're slowing, missing too many shots.
Got to make shots. It's the thing I tell.
Alabama just all over, suffocating defense, forcing another turnover. Phylon coughed it up, but there to pick up the loose change and draw the foul is Omori. Two-time honorable mention, all Big Ten standout as well for the Scarlet Knights, who may have 2 lottery. Right of the lane it comes. Hornby.
The combination of Harper and Bailey for the Scarlet Knights, who gave Alabama all not good spacing on the outside out.
Oh, a great spin move by Reed, but then got rejected by the rim. Reed racing to the other end, and a dipsy-do layup for the Golden Flashers. That's Marquise Barnett, the 6'4" senior out of Saginaw, Michigan. And then a block foul quickly on the other end as Sears goes full on. See the key transfers for Kent State. Certainly going to be something to overcome. The other interesting story on Kent State, we haven't mentioned the name Jalen Sullinger. He's instant offense off the bench.
He said, you know, they had to have a little sit down with Sullinger and say, look, here are the conditions. And he's been more and has done more than met those conditions.
Great dime dropped off by Sears. It does not lead to a...
Had his hands out, ready to be a receiver, and that seems like
just a shooter. He's going to have to be if he's going to play at the next level. Obviously, he would fit the role of the point guard with his size, and the shooting is already there. He's an elite shooter, and he's going to have to be a distributor as well to play at the highest levels when he makes the professional ranks. Nice take, aggressive take by Marquise Barnett for his second basket.
What a nice job by Kelja to just kind of hang around and steal a possession.
Down to 11 points. Kent State fortunate to have it that close with the cold shooting, 22% from the field. Spot up 3, back iron. Yabate there for the offensive rebound. He finds the cutter, aiding in the first half. That one goes Brick City from Barnett.
Diabate has been really active.
Reed got caught in a Golden Flashes sandwich and got fouled.
When you look at their shooting numbers, they're 10th in the league in field goal percentage. They're out of free throws. And Bama has done that and is doing that.
Inside, rejected by Nelson. Swatted that one clean.
It was a good job by Phylon. It wasn't there. Probe, and then see if you can find your three-point shoot.
Over 2,100 career points for Mark Sears, who started his career in the MAC, played at Ohio. Drive, and a beautiful teardrop over the outstretched arms of Omori.
Nice job by someone. Take what the defense gives you. Well, here's a little zone, a little mix-up on defense. But can you rebound out of it?
Nelson right now is giving you everything. It's only 4 points, but it's 8 rebounds, it's 2 blocks, and patrolling the paint awfully well for the Tide. Gets a contest there. And look what I found. Right place, right time for Gillespie.
To 11 in the third quarter. Michigan State was one of the 9 unbeatens on the women's side. So Alabama's only lost a 4-point loss on the road in Berkeley to Cal in the SEC-ACC Challenge.
Double dip in Tupelo, Mississippi. That's another kind of unheralded program that's making great strides with one of the newer coaches in the SEC. There's a 3 lined up by Jalen Sullinger. Again, the leading scorer a year ago, now coming off the bench and averaging just under 10 a game.
1,000-point scorer, another 4-year guy. He's going to need to step up his offensive production in the absence of Safford.
A little too high on the alley-oop pass. Third effort is good, though.
Glass.
We have a great crew today. Don Daly, Stephen Anderson, Michael Wallace. Spin move, and a nice move that finishes with a foul for Von Cameron Davis.
Now you can see where shooting numbers.
Kent State last year lost to Akron. Buffalo was not predicted to win it, And it seemed like every year they're getting some good looks, but 23% from the field. Slowing Alabama down, keeping the tempo down as best they can. Strong drive and a great one at that. Draws the foul on Stevenson, but a trip to the free throw line
for 40 minutes. And sometimes it wanders.
And sometimes natural human nature is to take your foot off the gas. It'll happen very often. An Auburn to Alabama transfer. And a whistle out on the perimeter. And it's going to be against Sears.
Really impressed with Kent.
You want to be battle tested when we get into league play. That was the point of the game against pulled away. But these are the kind of matchups that make you better. Typically, the MAC is a one-bid league.
What did he tell us? He felt like his team started scared.
Yes.
I don't feel like they've started
Not
scared
at all.
today. They just couldn't make shots
Right.
early.
Strong drive and kick. And a Euro and left it short. And a late whistle. Instead of a chance at three, it's 2 free throws as he is.
Right.
They've got plenty of size. They've got an All-American guard. You bring in one of the top freshmen in the country in Darian Reed. There's a lot to like. There is Reed flying in and cradling an offensive rebound. Under 30 seconds to go at half number 1. Leaner bounces in for Philon.
Last shot opportunity for the visitors.
You would think they might set something up for the guy with the ball right here in Sullinger. Maybe a high ball screen.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking.
Whoa, a logo 3.
Wow.
I don't think that's what they drew up, but that's what Sullinger took, and that's how the half comes to a close with Alabama up 15. And Mark, it's more of that start
For Kent State,
right
from a confidence standpoint, they need to see some shots go down.
See if they can get a run in the opening stanza. Nice play, great action, and it will draw a whistle from behind. That's lost 3 starters from last year's squad. Again, finished runner-up defensively.
How about Reed getting the start?
Big
The second half,
stop.
my goodness.
Oh, Maury wipes that one clean. Sears on the attack. Mark Sears now with 8 points.
Well, that's the transition game that Kent State just has not allowed, or did not allow, in the first 20.
Rise and fire. The mid-range is good. And a good-looking shot by Davis.
At the rim, he's fearless in the way he can attack.
What do you think a guy like Sears, again, kind of undersized, what does he have to do to make it at the next level?
Guard the ball.
Yeah.
He has to have a more physical presence guarding the ball, because don't you love it when you have 2 guys running a rebound down?
Sears to Philon. High off the magic square and in.
Easy to see why he...
Kent State bleeding some clock as they do on most possessions. Offensive rebound. Good job by Hornbeak. Davis, no,
yes.
Tap in, yes. Weak side, Barnett.
He had.
No doubt. Sears had a good drive, just could not get it to drop. Davis probing. Bellied up by Stevenson. Davis with a fade and fire.
Yeah.
Nice. Even with the shots not falling, they're still hanging around.
Alabama having a hard time keeping Hornbeak off the offensive glass.
There's a high percentage shot. Omori with the stuff. And the kid's more than just a shooter. He was a lot of fun to watch for Tennessee last year. The foul goes against Chris Young. Just all over the place.
So when you ask the question, why this historic start at coaching, and no matter what coach you talk to, they will all kind of say,
Mark for Barnett hits the back iron.
I promise you, after this game, the only thing that Nate Oates is going to want to talk about is not the three-point shooting, it's their turnovers.
Beautiful job of Chris Youngblood just stepping in. Ranked number 7 in the country. Tough shot, and here comes Alabama on the attack. Numbers for Holloway, 2-on-1, and the foul and a trip to the line. Those games in November, December, which vary often, and you can't make that up necessarily in conference play.
Right.
So now the SEC is in the driver's seat in terms of every metric imaginable. Very few.
Jimmy Dykes, I hope you're listening. I just stole one of your lines.
You'll pay the residual at the end of the day. The invoice will be sent momentarily as Omori hits a nifty shot off the window.
I think Nate Oates would like to see a little bit more of that.
Someone, not a bad look, just no finish for Kent State on a lot of these good looks. They're 1 for 21 from behind the arc. Price of real estate is Sears continuing his trips to the line. He's now
For poor shooting.
Sears had a season-high 27 in the win against Creighton. Those numbers in, start getting arthritis. It's just painful.
I think that's 4 for 47.
And nobody told me there'd be math today. Inside. And a two-hand finish. That's the team just a week ago. Yeah, everybody in this league is top 100 in the net. That was just, I'm going to muscle this thing in. Jaron Stevenson, the 6'11", 200.
Stevens,
that one in.
his overall percentage is up to 24, but it's like the baseball
Shooting hole today. Baseline fadeaway, no.
Yeah, that's a give-up shot by Gillespie.
Philon, yes! Count the basket and the foul. LeBaron Philon made Barker High School in Mobile, Alabama. Mr. Basketball while he was there. Baseline J, nothing but the bottom of the net for Millette.
Janai Broom, how about that? Sore shoulder and all.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he can play with pain. He's played with injuries before. That snaps an ugly 1 for 13 slump for the Golden Flashes as someone hits the floater.
I mean, when you go down the list, Mike, Ole Miss 11-1, Vanderbilt 11-1. We just saw Jason Edwards Wednesday. He had 16 again yesterday. The backcourt at Florida.
Yeah. Concerned how he would make that transition, shooting guard to point guard. No.
Guess what? When you're a three-point shooting team and you go 4 for 22, you're not going to win.
Adams is not going to take any possession lightly on the defensive end for Alabama. He will not be happy about that as Von Cameron Davis, who's back after limping off the floor a couple minutes ago, plays a little bully ball down low. Nelson returns the favor. An and one for Grant Nelson. Let's go. Of golf, you don't see a lot of North Dakota natives that find time to play. Off the mark, there's Reed tearing away the rebound. Whips it into the front court. Sets up the open three.
Yep.
Got it. That's Alabama basketball in a nutshell. Rebound on the push. Find the open three, and Holloway swishes it.
I mean, there's transition, and then there's Bama transition. Sprint to the corner. I'll tell you what, Hornbeak's been a pleasant surprise. I think he's going to give some people in the MAC, you're late.
That took all of about 5 seconds to get from one end to the bottom of the net on the three. Nifty move that time by him. Philon and Holloway working the perimeter. Holloway, rise and fire three, and that time he delivers.
I think he's a better.
Top four for the rebound. Holloway gliding. Drive and kick, sets up an open man. More Alabama basketball. Philon. Position. See the second half starting to find a little bit more of a rhythm. Kent State trying to make this a rock fight.
Mike, that 5 for 14 looks like hot shooting.
Yes, it's relatively speaking.
Yesterday, and I asked him about his what was a Christmas traditional table,
right.
And he learned to play pool there. And to this day, I think they have a pool table right next to his office.
They do.
And I think he's got a little bit of pool shark in him.
He's got some game. Well, you mentioned his mom, his grandmother is from Minnesota. He's the Minnesota Fats of Alabama. He's got some game. He challenges players. He challenges staff pretty seriously.
You got the sense he was not kidding.
No.
Yeah. And his answer was like, today, don't you think he had a healthy attitude about playing this game? And he talked about, and we mentioned this in the first half, he didn't want his team to be scared.
Right.
I don't sense that they were scared
Not
today.
at all.
They just didn't make shots.
Right. Short.
Everything took him away from the basket. This is the guy I think who can really improve Kent State's offensive production if Morales can become an 8-point scorer instead of a 4-point scorer.
Transfer from Boston, 6'8", Anthony Morales. Kent State now 2 for 25 from
the pace that they wanted. Shoot 33s, they've shot 34.
Alabama right now is all over Kent State. That's just a better shot. Good defense, better offense by Gillespie. Back out to a guard, into the hands of Holloway. From the corner. Wheeling, dealing, and drawing a trip to the free. Max Charnowski.
Doesn't seem like a big deal. He only scored 1 point, but
under 90 seconds to go in this one. Another three. And another miss.
All right, here we go.
Holloway, rise and fire. Got it. 13 points for the sophomore. Holloway's confidence really took a hit late last year with Auburn. Wanted to get a fresh start. There's an and one for Gillespie. These don't work out exactly the way you hope.
Okay, Alabama has to shoot. Come on, Max. Get to the corner.
You want a Charnowski bomb.
Pick and pop. There we go. Shoot
Charnowski
it.
Inside.
No!
Charnowski almost had an assist. You always.
Because now, if Sherrell makes 2, you still don't get an assist.
Which I've been lobbying. Never made sense to me. Then again, not much does. Maybe Charnowski makes a play on the defensive end. As the final 30 seconds tick away here in Tuscaloosa. Kent State's going to fall to 8-3. They'll certainly be a competitor in the MAC. Another block for Alabama. Sherrell. Someone. Tough shot in traffic.
Tough shot taker, tough shot maker.
The final seconds will tick away. Fans to their feet here at Coleman, and Alabama wasn't always pretty, but they'll gladly take the dub. 81-54. The final score. The Tide have now won 34